what I've gained, I can't put a price tag on. Welcome back. I know I have been away for quite some time, but I wanted to get into that today and tell y'all how losing everything ended up being the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And y'all, I got a mic because I am outside and I want y'all to be able to hear me well. So, yeah, you're going to see the mic in my hand. I also talk with my hands, so I'm going to apologize in advance if the audio goes in and out a little bit because sis definitely talks with her hands, and sometimes I forget what I have in my hand and forget, like, hey, sis, the audio. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to keep the mic up to my mouth so that you all can hear me. But if I get too passionate and I start waving this mic around, I apologize. It has been exactly 1 year, 6 months since I left my 9 to 5 and been walking by faith. I haven't had a job whatsoever, not even like little side hustle type of things. Like, I am monetized on YouTube, but I have only received one check so far from YouTube since being monetized, and it was for a little over $100. So haven't received anything from that since. I also received a check from TikTok last August, I believe. I was doing the I can't think of what that thing is called. What's that thing called? I can't think. It was a challenge. I would just put up the video for y'all to see here.
20,000 likes.
All right, so I was doing that and I made about $80 from that. So outside of those two things, that is what has paid me as far as like a job goes. I have received a few different cash apps. So to everyone who has ever cashed at me any amount, even if it was just $5, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I promise you, when you sent that cash app, it was absolutely needed and used and appreciated. So I thank God for you. And yeah, I just so appreciate you. Before I left my 9 to 5, what I thought was going to happen was I just thought that I was going to blow up as this YouTube creator, and that's how God was going to finance my life. And I just knew everything was going to just flow so perfectly. But y'all, that's not what happened at all. And if you want to see more videos in depth about what those months and those periods look like, I have quite a few different videos that you can see where I was real time in the moment going through it. So the thumbnails up for you so you have a visual of what those videos were if you want to go back and watch them. So yeah, everything I thought was going to happen before taking this huge leap of faith did not happen whatsoever. Like, not at all. Good and bad. After quitting my job, I literally moved straight to Houston, Texas with my 3 babies. I did a series of moving to Houston. So, again, y'all, there's plenty of stuff that y'all can go back and watch if you want to see like in depth journeys during those times. But did a move into Houston series. I just knew, oh, God got me living in Houston. I'm about to, because I saw that a lot of content creators that looked like me actually were in the Houston area. So I was going to meet some people. I thought I was going to be collaborating with people. Y'all, no.
Got him! Got him!
Not at all. Didn't happen, not once. Did get to see the city of Houston a bit, mostly child related things because I do have 3 babies. So saw a lot of the natural parks, went to a lot of the museums. Like, that was our thing every Thursday, is we would go to the museum, because in Houston, if you go to certain museums, I believe it's like after 2, you would have to look at the certain museum you want to go to. Their hours, they'll tell it on the website, but for the most part, most museums in Houston on Thursdays were free. So that is what we did every single Thursday until da 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 da. God had me sell my car. I believe God is telling me to sell my car. So that is what I am to go do. It's a little bittersweet, but okay, it's not a little bittersweet. It's really sad because y'all, I bought my car when it only had 4 miles on it, and like I just remember how many adventures I have had in my car. But so it's a little sad, but at the same time, I know God is going to do something miraculous. And even if I don't see it tomorrow or next week, I know it's for a purpose and a reason in the grand scheme of things. It was definitely a tower moment. It was a shell shock. It was a huge, like, upending. It was a roller coaster ride living in Houston because when I first got there, I was super excited and hopeful for what was going to happen, what was coming next. Like, oh, okay, God, I didn't jumped. You told me to jump. I have jumped. And so I just thought, as soon as you jump, God catches you. And he catches you, but he let you fall for a bit before he catch you. Like, you're not gonna hurt yourself. He's not gonna let you get hurt. But it's not gonna be like a little, oh, you just jumped off of one stair. Like, no, it's like a free fall. It's literally like a free fall. And before you hit the ground, God is like, boop, I got you. Like, that was my time in Houston, what I felt like. And I feel like a lot of it was because of me. It was because of the control I wanted to have. Although I was walking by faith and I quit my job at the direction of God, I still wanted to have a certain level of control. And so when God would tell me to do something or want me to do something, I'd be like, oh God, I don't know. And so I would drag my feet sometimes, and then I would eventually get around to doing what it is he told me to do. Or I would be like, well, God, I want to do this, so I'm gonna do this. And I would like divert from the path, trying to come up with ways on how I could save myself and how I could take things into my hands and make them great instead of just trusting God to use what I have and expand that from there. So yeah, Houston was a learning experience. And what I am grateful about Houston is that it helped me rebuild my foundation. Like, God literally had to strip everything away in order for my foundation to be laid solid, where he could start building upon that foundation and know and let me know that no matter what happens, no matter what comes my way, everything is going to work out, because at the base level, as long as I have God, I have everything that I need. I had to learn that the hard way. But you are the beautiful thing about Houston. I don't want it to seem like it was just all bad and, just super sad. The beautiful thing about Houston is that God proved himself to be true. And, he told me to quit. He let me know that I was not going to get evicted. He let me know that my rent would be paid the entire time I lived in my apartment. And y'all, literally, every month got paid. I left that apartment with the contract ending when it was supposed to end, not owing them any money, not having anything go on my credit as far as like an eviction notice or anything like that. So there was a point back in December where I couldn't pay the rent, and I didn't know how the rent was going to get paid. And my apartment complex let me know that they were going to serve me an eviction notice if I didn't pay within a certain amount of time. And y'all, they never ended up serving me this eviction notice, even though I didn't get around to paying the rent until a month later. So like, God was definitely with me the entire time I was in Houston. And that leads me to where I am now. God has moved me to New Jersey. The children's father offered to let me come stay, and he had a room set up for me already, the children's room set up already. So it was literally just me walking into the next area. And it's so funny because I had told God that I wanted to leave this apartment and go to a 3 bedroom house, and I wanted there to be a lot of parks around. It's exactly 2 weeks before I have to move out. I don't know where we're going, how we're going to do it, how God is going to do it, because at this point it really isn't going to be me. I see, baby. But God did put on me to start planning. So God put it on me to write out a list of different options and things. So in the home, I know for sure I want us to have 3 bedrooms. I want us to have gym access, or like there's a 24-hour gym for me personally, so I can continue with my workouts. I would love to have a playground or one nearby for the children so that they can stretch, get outside, because that's like the downside about where I live now, is they don't have a playground. A washer and dryer in unit, and I didn't want anyone to be below me if it was like a condo. Y'all, it's so funny because the children's dad's house is a 3 bedroom house. Since we're in New Jersey, like, there's a lot of greenery, a lot of land. There's literally parks everywhere you look. Like, literally all around us there are parks. And since it's a home, it's a 2-story home, there is no one no one beneath us. A lot of room for the children to run and play and be as loud as they want to be. And I found it funny after a while, because I'm gonna get back to how I felt when I first got here. But after a while, I thought it was hilarious because it was like, oh God, okay, I see you answered my prayer. And it taught me that God answers your prayers. He really does. But sometimes we not specific enough. I'm like, God, I did not want to move in with the children's dad. Like, I don't this is not where I wanted to be. So because, quote unquote, this is not where I wanted to be, when I first got here, I was super depressed and didn't want to make videos or content because it's like, Lord, I can't pour out to people if I'm not even strong enough to pour into myself right now, or, even slowing down enough for you to pour into me, because that's a whole nother talk as well. I felt like, God, how could you take me from Florida, where I was thriving financially as a single mom, had my own money, was just beautiful. You told me to quit my job, my 9 to 5. You moved me to Houston, Texas, and just started taking things away from me one by one, it seemed. However, I still had my own, like, it's still my own apartment, my own space. And now you have moved me to New Jersey to live with my ex. I don't have a car. I don't have finances. Why do you have me here? I have nothing. Like, you literally have taken everything away from me. And God was like, you're looking at it wrong. What do you have? You keep talking about what you don't have anymore, but what do you still have? What have you gained? And I was so focused on the material things that I was overlooking what else I have gained, because God has literally turned my life upside down, but in the greatest way possible. I have gained a love for myself that I have been searching for years. Like, my level of self-care now is through the roof. I actually have time to read. That was one of my biggest things that I used to complain to God about, is like, God, I got all these books around me, but I feel like I don't ever have the time to read. Y'all, I read 15 minutes a day, every single day. I have like a huge, okay, I'm not going to go down the list because, like, it's just going to be, it's going to be too much after a while. But yeah, basically what I am trying to say is that I gain something that can never be taken away from me. Like, yes, you can lose your home, you can lose your car, you can lose your job, you can lose your finances, but your heart, your spirit, your faith, how you think about yourself, how you look at yourself, how you love others, that can't be taken away from you. And so what I have gained is priceless. I can't put a price tag on it. Like, it's something that has been built, and it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning with foundations. Like, the foundation has been laid where no matter what comes our way, whatever comes my way, it's not crumbling, it's not coming down. Like, even now that like God is starting to add more and more to my life as far as like activities he wants me to do and things he wants me to get into, and I will share more about that in another video. But he's just been having me do more things, gift wise, and even though more and more is getting piled onto my plate, I'm still making the time for reading, still making the time to work out, still making the time to drink 64 ounces of water every day, still taking time to take care of myself so that I can take care of others. And that's because of this past year and a half. If I didn't go through everything that I went through, I wouldn't be where I am today and loving myself the way that I am today and loving those who are around me and in my life the way that I am today. So, what I've gained, I can't put a price tag on. And today it's funny because I've been saying, like, I need to get this video out. Like, it's been something I've been pushing off because I'm like, well, Lord, I don't know what direction I want to do with it. Like, I don't know the setting. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I feel like I need the script. And God's like, no, you don't need the script. Maybe get some talking points because, girl, sometimes you be long winded. You can veer off track sometimes, but list it out. List out a plan. List out a day when you want to get this video done, and don't try to do it all at once. Just break it down and go from there. And so I had on the schedule today to record this video no matter what. And so here I am recording this video no matter what. But it's funny because right before it was time for me to come out here and come out here and record this video, I was reading Make Something Great or Make Something Wonderful. It's one of the two by Steve Jobs. And inside it shared his commencement speech. And y'all, I want to include the commencement speech because it really does solidify where I'm at today. And it's like, what greater what greater reminder, or what greater confirmation than to read this on the day that I am meant to record this video. So without further ado, I would like to share this video, so please do stay to the end so that you can see it. But you all, in the meantime, in between time, let's continue to prosper properly as his property.
And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. The turn of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. So keep looking. Don't settle. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you all very much.